now, and the Ghana Nurses Midwives Trainees Association, GNTMTA, is petitioning the President, John Dramani Mahama, to release funds for the payment of their allowances. Now, according to the National President, Emmanuel Gayevo, trainee nurses and midwives have not received any allowances from 2012. Calling off their strike action on Wednesday, July 16, the association says it will embark on a demonstration exercise and take illegal action if government does nothing to address their situation.
The Ghana Nurses and Midwives Trainees Association has begun its nationwide strike. The Ghana Nurses and Midwives Trainees Association has begun its nationwide strike. The Ghana Nurses and Midwives.
So those were pictures from an earlier demonstration by the Nurses Midwives Trainees Association, GNMTA, and we have the National President, Emmanuel Gayevo, with us here in the studio. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon.
Well, you haven't received your allowance since December 2012.
Sure.
All right. How much are we talking about?
We are talking about an amount of 380 Ghana cedis per month for each student. So
I'm thinking, I mean, from December 2013 till 2012 till now is quite a long time. What is the reason for not receiving your allowance? What is government telling you about?
Well, it's been something usual that they normally pay the allowance when we are about going to second year level 200. So it's something a routine. But for this time, it has taken more than normal. The duration has taken more than normal. So we deem it appropriate to find out from government why the delay. And they keep giving us verbal assurances that the money is going to be paid in a jiffy. We should be hopeful that it will be paid. Since 2012, we've been making follow-ups. Till now, the money has not been paid. And the students are completing this year. What's
the population we're talking about?
Okay, the association, JIMTA, is made up of about 45,000 members. But the students on allowance now is about 30,000. Sure, 30,000 to 40,000 in number.
Right, but we had received earlier reports this sum. Are you saying that not a single student has received an allowance?
Since 2012, those who were admitted, not even a student has received a CD from the government. And it's simple because they've not filled the allowance forms. They've not had a biometric registration. So how can they even receive money from government? Were they paid on tabletop without our knowledge? So the student has not received. And that is the situation up to now. The students have not received any money from the government.
Yeah, in your earlier submission, you mentioned that, well, it's routine for government not to pay in the first year. When you're going to your second year, then the monies are paid. This one has delayed, but they keep giving you verbal assurances. Why are you not? Why don't you believe the government, really?
Oh, you know,
but if it's something that's happened before, really, it's like normal, as you put it.
An normal circumstance is supposed to be, once you start school, it's supposed to be coming. The day of admission, since you started training, every month you're supposed to be receiving the money. But due to processing, they need to process the clearance letters, they need to process the allowance forms before the money comes. It takes some time. But for now that it has delayed more than necessary, we see it to be a worry to the students. And the students are dropping out from school because now they cannot pay their fees. We are paying about 2,000 Ghana cedis per semester. You can imagine that.
All right. You embarked on a demonstration. Nothing has happened. Now you're even threatening to go further. Why not wait? If you've done the demonstration, you're supposed to wait for things to cool down a bit before you think of taking a legal action against the government. Why don't you wait there?
We students are always ready to wait. We've asked the government.
It doesn't look like it when you hit the streets like that.
Oh, we hit the street because government is failing to do what we want after several petitions have been made and follow-ups have been made. But we are still ready to wait. If they are going to allow the students to do the biometric registrations, the clearance letters are released for the student to fill the allowance forms. The fact that we are asking that to be done does not mean we want the money.
But you have done your biometric.
Before,
you haven't?
Since 2012, those admitted from 2012, level 100 and level 200, we've not done the biometric registration.
What's the reason for not registering you?
It's because the clearance letters have not been released to the various institutions.
Well, okay, so you haven't done your clearance.
Sure.
And so, but why do you expect the government to pay you if, in fact, there's no data to say that you are part of it?
We are part of it because we have filled the allowance forms. We have signed a bond with the government. So that one, we are totally entitled to that money. But we can only receive it if the clearance letters are sent to the various schools to authenticate the students, to fill the allowance forms, to enable the controller and accountant general to process the money. You understand? So we are asking government to release the clearance form. Because of the delay of the clearance forms, schools like Sekwa Hats are being denied of their postings, though they've closed or they've completed school successfully. They are not being posted because the clearance letters are still not released. And the clearance letter needs to be released.
While you wait, legal action to do what exactly? To twist government's hand to pay? Can you do that?
Oh, currently we are petitioning our Honorable President, John Mahama, to rise.
No, we know that your petition, it's obvious in your statement, but my question has to do with legal action against the government if they don't listen. Then.
Oh, sure. We have the legal right to this money. We've signed document contracts, an agreement. So we are going to take it on to court if every other thing proves futile. Sure.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much. You heard Emmanuel Gayevo, who is the president, national president for the Ghana Nurses Midwives Trainee Association.